It is project time again. If you look in the back of the pallet, I've got some plywood, some 2x4s, some 4x4s. I got to build a new pump house. My pump house is hideous. Here, let me show it to you. This is the old pump house. I built it probably 15 years ago out of scraps. Everything was scraps. Now this pump house is going to it's going to double as a pump house. It's actually going to triple. A pump house, a playhouse, and even a camper. Let's get started. So I'm putting the floor together, and I have just put 2 nails here and a screw, 2 nails and a screw, 2 nails and a screw. Now I'm going to put on these 4x4 skids. Something to slide it on. So here's an eyebolt built right into the floor. This will be used to pull the pump house playhouse camper up onto the trailer. I've got the walls framed up. On this end there's going to be a window. That'll be this window right here, left over from the tiny house project. And I'm about to put the plywood sheathing on. That's going to be my next step. And if you're wondering about what's that window going to look like, it's going to look about like this. About exactly like that. I just need a few more windows. And I found this window today, $15. The one behind it, it's a little bit big, but I'm going to go ahead and use it. It's a leftover from the tiny house. The one behind that, that's a leftover from the tiny house. That's the one I've already shown you. It goes onto the front, right about here. And I moved this into the garage, concrete floor to work on. More room, better lights. I've got this sheathing on, and on the other side I've got the sheathing on. This is a Pella window. They're very expensive windows. I actually tried to get that window about a year ago for the tiny house. It was too expensive then. Today it was $15. I went ahead and got it. Then I started building the rafters, and I ran out of 2x4s. I got in some corner bracing. It's really strong. I've been gluing and screwing everything. I used the ratchet strap to pull it square, and then I put the bracing on. Now the strap can come out. There's a close-up of that bracing. Same thing down on the other end. Here's some bracing. That'll turn into shelves. That keeps the bottom, the lower half, that keeps that square. And I got all the rafters put in. They're screwed and glued here. This is nailed, glued, all the way down. It makes a really nice tight roofing system. Up at the top, those were screwed and glued. I've got that window hole cut open. I've got the front side sheathed, and the window hole is cut open. And on the other side, I have the little window hole cut open. And now it is time to order some tin and some vinyl. So I just took a treated 2x6 and cut it in half. It was a 10-footer. And that's going to be my eaves on this end. It's not going to be a lot of eaves. The vinyl side will come out about halfway out of that. And then this will be painted white. You'll have a little bit of eaves rip. Then you'll have your tin. That way when you have it on the trailer hauling it to the campsite, you don't have a whole bunch of wind getting caught underneath there. Now on the sides, I do have some eaves there. Maybe too much, but it looked good to me. And then the 2x6 comes up flush with the purlins. We'll put the tin, screw the tin straight to that. I just gotta go cut the ends off of these 2x6s. That's my next step. And then I'm gonna screw and glue this on. Now we'll repeat that 1, 2, 3, 3 more times. And we'll be done with the eaves. So with wrap left over from the tiny house project, I have started wrapping this little tiny house. So all 4 sides, I still have to do something with the back, but all 4 sides have been wrapped. Up next, I'm going to wash a window, cut a window hole, and put a window in. It's going to look good. Here's the window I'm about to wash. You can see it's a brand new window. I bought it for the tiny house but didn't use it. This is the window, fairly cleaned up, almost ready to go in. I'm about to punch some screw holes, then we'll screw it into place. By the way, this window has the date on the side of it, 2007, if you can see that. The window on the other side is a 2005. This one's 10 years old, the other one's 12 years old. I bet they were wondering if they were ever going to get put in. Well, they're getting put in now. Here's on the other side, 11/11/05. It was Veterans Day 05. And now you can see the other window. That's the one we're installing now. That's window number 2 in. One more to go. So I just came back from the store and I got some vinyl siding. Looks like it's going to be clay and white. And I got some eaves drip. Also picked up some tin. Pump House Playhouse Camper update. We've decided now to turn it in just to a Playhouse camper, forget the pump house, and then in the future build a smaller, less ornate pump house, a little 4x4, something you can't camp in. So I'm going to go ahead and build the floor and then build some kind of door, at least the opening right now, and then I can start with the vinyl siding. That's where we're at. So now the floor system has been screwed and glued together, and in just a few minutes the floor will be in, complete. Then we can start this back wall. And I'm thinking right now maybe a 2x4 door. We'll see. Now the whole floor is in. The back wall's been framed up, and I'm about to put 2 pieces of plywood. Then I can start with vinyl siding. Getting excited about that. And the door opening is going to be about a 2x4 opening. Slightly shorter than 4 foot, but 2 wide. I've officially started on the vinyl siding. There is one corner on. It's almost a full moon, right on the edge. Couple days, it'll be full. Couple days, I'll have this vinyl on. Corner, this side straight, this side 45. One goes under, one goes right along the roof line. I'll put a nail about every foot. So the starter strip is in place, and I'm gonna put on my first piece of vinyl. Here it is, probably a little past my bedtime, and I've got one side completely done. So I just came through with some white paint. Got all the eaves done, inside and out. Wanted to do that before I ran my J-channel so it'd be easier. Wouldn't have to worry about getting paint on the J-channel. So I'm here putting on my last piece of J-channel around the window, and I almost forgot to show you where I caulked around the windows. So I've got it caulked here. This is the J-channel. I got to put another piece here and another piece at the bottom, and then we'll go crazy putting the siding on. So I've got the J-channel around the windows, and I've got the piece cut to go under the window. But before I put that in, the piece that I cut out of the vinyl, I flip it over and I put it into the J-channel. That holds your vinyl out instead of it being caved in a little bit. Holds it in place better. And so now we have one side completely done. The back side's completely done, almost got the front. And then the third side is about a little over halfway done. I just made a door frame. I had to put that on before I could put the J-channel on, before I could put the vinyl on. But before I put the vinyl on, I want to put a little paint on the frame. So I've just completed the vinyl on the door end of the little house. And then I grabbed that piece of shiny full aluminum insulation. Threw it up on the roof. I've got 2 little pieces of wood holding it in place. And if we go on the inside, I have marked a line, and now I'm going to cut it, and it'll go between these 2 2x4s. I was so impressed with it in the tiny house, I'm going to use it in this one too. Well, there you have it. Half of the roof is insulated, and I'll get some of the spray foam and go around all the edges, seal it in airtight, and then we can start putting the tin on. Are you excited? I am. Oh good, you're just in time. You caught the train, and you got me sealing up the foam with spray foam. There it is, the eaves drip is going on. That's the last step I'm going to do before the tin roof goes on. And it is 3/4 of the way on. Oh, by the way, the vinyl siding's done, and I need to show you the full moon. Hang on. And here's the tin roof sitting in place, getting ready to be screwed on. That looks good. Installing the tin roof, and I have pre-drilled all the holes. They're all symmetrical. Now I'm just going in and putting in the screws. Now just get them a little bit snug, not too tight. The bottom row's done. And if we pan up a little bit, you can see the screw holes up higher. We'll get started on those next. And here you have the tin roof is screwed on. Here is the other side, all on, all screwed down, and ridge cap is even on. Tin roof, check it off. The whole thing is all dried in once I get the back door. Once I get the front door on. The only door. Once I get the door on, it is all dried in. And speaking of the back door, look at these beautiful hinges. I'm going to repurpose these. I think that's really going to set off the door. And I've got to have some kind of window in here that opens, cross ventilation. And maybe tomorrow we can start working on the door. Cross your fingers. And I suppose we might say that's an end to this video. Thanks for watching. Hit the like button, whatever you feel like doing. And episode 2 is on the way.